I was like, hey, what's up, guys? It's Shaggy. I was just flipping through my screens and stuff. Hope everybody's staying warm. I seen it's getting cold coming up this week for a lot of people. It's amazing that we've already been this year in winter already, or like in Indy, and we haven't really seen nothing bad unless it's up north or down south. We're like in the perfect zone. It's been cold a little bit. I wanted to get on and go over some stuff that's going on in the group this week, Shaggy's Consulting and Training Group. What's up, Charles? Man, I forgot. Your team won. I know. Go Chiefs. Iris, what's that guy say? He says, go Chiefs. That was a badass game. What's up, Charles? On YouTube? Man, I forgot I'm on YouTube, Facebook, and everything. And you get these devices, you get so many different places. We need snow. We do for the crops, the fields. Everything dictates a plan, right? You don't have enough water up in one place. The glaciers don't do this. Crops don't get water. Cows freeze in the winter because it's worth hurt beef prices. It's funny. Have a understanding. I know. Well, then change your name to Langston, Charles. I bought a new plow. I know you're not making no money with it though, guys. I wanted to jump on and talk about Chiefs, man. Look at those Chiefs, right? And it's a perfect setting to the show, right? Like, look at Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, the fight. I know, right? The Chiefs. Woo! That look at the idea of here. I'll put it on for you. It's not even Christmas. Here, I'll switch. Is that better? Is that better? There, I got my Christmas present. Yeah. All right. So, I wanted to jump on and talk about today in the group. Tonight, guys, if you guys share around, we're going to be having a go-to meeting tonight in the group. Go-to meeting tonight in the group, and we're going to be, Jerry says, I knew it. Man, it was, whoever imagined, like, who could imagine it? Could you imagine? It's like you're going to the playoffs, to the divisional, then you're not going to divisional. You're going to divisional, you're not going to divisional. And the next thing you know, this dickhead comes out of nowhere and scores a field goal and a touchdown. Like, who would imagine that they would score that many points in 2 minutes, right? 2 minutes in a game. It's amazing. But, think about the plan of those guys, the work that's involved, what they have to do that, the determination, the plan. And, it's like everything I look at in business, just like a guy taught me on Friday, if you don't own it, you can't see it. It's not yours. And we're working on this taekwondo school. We're using websites. We have a website we control. We try to use a marketing company, but you can't get them on the line. They don't answer the phone. They don't do it, but they have 30 people and they look like they're the biggest company in the world, but they're probably 3 people sitting in a room, man. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Tonight, we're going to do a go-to meeting, and I'm actually going to be giving away a boot camp or a map training and a routing training that's like 6 hours. Game preparation is business. That's where I was heading with it. Hey, Shaggy, you hear? Hey, Shaggy, us hear you loud and clear in Africa and Republic of Mozambique. Keep on teaching, man. Hey, thanks, brother. That's freaking far out. My wife always jokes with me about training because I think I could travel the world, right, if I wanted to. And I think I could go anywhere in the world, and my wife could get pissed off at me, and I'd probably have somebody that would give me a place to stay. You know what I mean? Like, come on over. Hey, what's up, Bryce? I love the name, too. Is that Faroa? Faroa? I ain't even saying the last part. What's up, LJ? So game preparation. So tonight, game preparation is what we're going to do. At 7 o'clock tonight on the page and in the group, there's a link for a go-to meeting. I will post it again. Guys, tonight we're going to talk about some stuff in a go-to meeting at 8 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to give away a map and routing training and the thing. But to be in that map and routing training, and all because my Chiefs won, I'm going to give away $500 worth of training because my Chiefs won. And so you had to go in the group and drop your name in the comments. And tonight, me and Jared and Jesse, Jesse's going to give away the winner. I'm going to have Jesse put a wheel up. We're going to put all the names on it, and we're going to have a winner. But in this Q&A tonight, with dispatching week coming up on February 7th, I wanted to come on real quick and talk about mapping routing training that's coming. No, so the map and routing training is coming up Wednesday. It starts at 12 and it goes to 6. These classes are so important, more important than my boot camps, because you can learn trucking, brokering, you can go through dispatching, and everybody and their mom goes back to the load boards. We always go back to the load boards. Load board, load board, load board. We always go back to Facebook. We always go to that dispatching service that's running us, which they're using the fucking load board. And if you ever think about it, when you look at a database for most people that dispatch, it's like 40 brokers. 40 of the top brokers. And more that I get involved in e-carry check, building lanes and products and all that stuff, right now it's hard for people to listen to somebody like me because hell, you can go on the load board and make $4 to $5 a mile all day long. Fuck, 5, 6, 7. And the rates are through the roof. But what you don't think about is that plan, right? Nothing's getting cheaper. What's up, Betty? Nothing's getting any cheaper. Everything costs more. Half the people out there, if they have something happen in a day, they don't understand what rate. They don't understand their rates. They don't understand their cost per mile. Everybody always chases the highest dollar. Why do we have to use load boards when we don't have to? Why do when we go to load boards, it's always the same brokers, top 35% or a double broker? The real brokers aren't here. Hey, Darlene, why don't we build a network before we start? Why, before we start, don't we have 100 brokers? See, there's all these myths that no one will use you in 90 days. Well, if you're using a dispatching service and you're on the load board, that's why you have 30 or 40 brokers that have taken advantage of new people and the other ones don't want to use you. The real brokers that do relationships that actually work for you, that because they have to sell trucks. See, brokers, the big brokers, they don't sell relationships. They sell a service. They get a truck, go to a customer, sell a rate, and they try to do that at a high level. Smart people build a product. They build lanes. They build structure. They build a dedicated, a regional route. And why do they do that? Because when you do that, you can diversify, build a product, sell it, and do twice as much work in half as much time. See, real brokers want to go get hundreds of trucks and just keep them moving all the time. And then they want to take those 100 trucks and go sell customers based off their trucks. But that's not what you get on the load boards, not at all. And half of you guys don't even take the time to get past that person because you never take the build a network or practice. Most people, when they don't only do the 5.5s, most people that ones that pick up, ones that deliver. And you guys don't believe me, just go post a load on the load board. Act like you're a broker. You don't need an MC number. And put a load from Indianapolis to California and see how many fucking people call you. And the first things they say, how much is that paying? If you can understand them, how much is that paying? Then you're like, whoa. Would you like to know anything else? No. How much is it paying? Are you sure? I mean, it picks up at 1 a.m. And so you always worry about when it picks up, when it delivers, what it pays, the weight, and the commodity. And so most of the time, you don't even understand why you want to know the commodity or anything about the commodity. So, routing and planning, the mapping class, and we're going to go over all this stuff tonight. Like we're going to go over why the myth that no one will use you in 90 days. Why are the brokers on the load boards, even when you think you're getting a lot, still taking more? Why do you not build brokers? You can communicate, build relationships. Why don't you go after customers? I'm going to teach you guys tonight how you can find carriers to see who they're hauling for and what calls you should make to understand how to go after those customers. We're going to talk about calling a carrier, asking certain questions about who he's hauling for by using the right information to get the conversation started to be able to go do that. Hi, Patricia. To be able to do that. We don't do this stuff. Why do we do this stuff? Because we don't have no game preparation like the Chiefs did in a victory. They didn't have game preparation and drive and heart. And it's not that we don't have the drive or heart. It's the problem is you don't have the lack of education. Every day I talk to thousands of people, not thousands, sorry, I lied. 30, 40 people every day. 22,000 minutes a month, 7 days a week almost. Now, Saturday and Sunday is winding down, especially since everybody's got COVID right now, or whatever you want to call this flu shit. And, and I just want to, and these people call me and they're like, I want to be a dispatcher. So what did you learn? So what do you know so far? They're like, well, I got a load board. I learned to use Facebook. You go to truck stops. I learned about broker packages, quick pay, and all that stuff. And then somebody gave me a list of some brokers. And then like these guys with the customers, like I'm so tired of people asking for a shipper list and stuff like that. Like anybody has a shipper list, you go to them like, so what were you going to do? I was going to call all day. Well, 80% are going to be the wrong person you're talking to. The 20% that you need to talk to, it's going to be the one that's right next to the person or the person you probably get if they answer the phone when you finally get them. Number one, you don't ever research. You don't do research calls. You don't. You might do some Googling before you call, but you don't. You call up and say, hi, my name is so and so. I was calling because we're a broker or even a carrier. You call up as a carrier and you're like, I noticed you got some freight in there, or we got assets in there, or I'm a broker and we're looking to offer something. And the customer's sitting there going, well, I get that call 15 times a day. It's like, well, what am I shipping? What's the problem we're having? What kind of things do they need? Who's hauling my freight? If I was having trouble right now, name off 10 loads that I'm moving out of this area, going to another area that I'm fucking having problems with, and how much am I moving for? And if I told you that I had 2 loads I was having trouble with, it bid it in 2 minutes and give me the carrier's fucking name and truck. Like, you ever see these people that go on the group? They're like, dear broker in the house, fill out the packets. It's like, what good is 30 packets going to do for you? Not one of those trucks is where the customer you research, and none of them's approved you for credit. You don't have no credit. Did they tell you that in class? Dispatching. Some of the first things people make mistakes is they don't know how to talk in truckinese when you're dispatching. It's a form of a language where you talk to truckers and brokers and stuff. They don't understand their costs, because if they understood their costs, they would know their truck's probably going to be $1,500 to $2,000 a day right now. Maybe 1,300, 12, depending on what you got paid off. But you guys are still allowing brokers to move you for 150, 200 when they rightly made a mistake, or the customer a mistake. Well, there's a difference. If it's a relationship guy feeding you 300 loads a year, that's one story. But if they're only giving you one load at a time, why are you his slave? Why are you taking the loss? Why are you not in control and you know the whole system that happens? Because you're using a dispatcher? What if you could spend 1 hour with me tonight and you'll never use a dispatcher ever again? Or you'll be training one in-house, or your wife that should be helping you. If you'll do the work. That's the problem. Nobody wants to do the preparation. It's so easy just to go to DA Truck Stop, select this, bulkloads.com, flatbed, load, whatever that is, load.com, all those boards, and just call people and get dictated. Because real people, you get a lot of people on there, but have you ever looked? I mean, have you ever sat on those load boards that looked at the brokers that use them all the time? Have you ever taken the time to call each one of them and say, hey, do you guys like building relationships, or put the loads on the board? I guarantee you, on the load board, most of them, if they even know how to communicate in truckingese, they want to put it on the load board because that's all they know. They'll act like they're relationships, but they don't have nothing. And see, you haven't figured out that somebody still owns that brokerage. So once you get past numbnuts number one, up ahead, there's a sales guy somewhere. How do you find him? At the brokerage and get in contact with them and tell them you have trucks and what you're looking for. You got to get past the first guy. Why does everybody not understand a little extra trucking he's talking will get you past the guy that says he can't use you for 90 days or a year? You're not talking to the right person. There's always a sell with everything you do. Tune in tonight. We're going to talk about bidding lanes, knowing the lanes, building a network, why the load boards suck. We're going to do a demo of e-carrier check. I'm going to put Jared over at e-carrier check to test to prove me wrong tonight. It's going to be awesome if you haven't seen it yet. And I'm going to drop some great nuggets that we teach in our dispatching webinar. See, everybody else teaches the simple stuff. I guarantee my shit's unreal, because when my shit's teaching you the stuff that's in advance, it's about building a local route, a dedicated route, regional, giving the over-the-road stuff to the fucknuts that want to recruit, never have a product they can sell. That's why they have 100, 200 trucks and they still ain't figured out how to get no customers. It amazes me when a guy calls me in Detroit and says, man, we're working for brokers. We have 100 power units and 150 trailers. You don't got no customer? Well, we got some. What's up, Siobhan, Vina? We got some. I mean, you got 100 trucks and no customers you don't understand? Then the idea of it too is if you don't understand dispatching, how many of you out there would actually broker to yourself? And when you first started out, to risk your customer to paid really good? How many? Not very many at all. So tonight, guys, we're going to do a go-to meeting, 7 o'clock Central Time, or Eastern Time. So it's 6 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock out in the middle of nowhere. And we're going to go over all this stuff. I'm going to go on the load boards. I'm going to pull up eCarrier Jack. I'm going to show you the differences of what you guys are doing. I'm going to show you how you could do the same thing that a dispatcher service is doing to you in less than 10 minutes. I'm going to show you what you should have done before your authorities go inactive while you're blowing up all these phone numbers, waiting for your plates and IFTA to get active. What you could have done because you don't know. I'm going to show you how to take control of your business tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern. I'm going to blow all the myths. It's not true. It's not true. Everybody needs somebody, especially in this market right now. Trucks are in demand. If you're not in control and the boss, and what I mean is not the boss, right? Because every day somebody tells me how, what's up, Marie Romero Logistics? Every day somebody calls me up and tells me how they make $5,000. And I'm always like, well, for the last 3,000 miles, 3,000 miles, $5 a mile? Shit, that's a lot, man. It's like 15,000 a week for 50 weeks. You do that all last year? Huh. And you got one truck payment, trailer. You pay a truck payment? Yeah. Trailer? Yeah. Insurance? Yeah. Fixed cost, escrow, factoring fee. Then you got to pay yourself, right? And you total all that at a certain number and divide that, and then add another 70 to 270 a mile on top of those 3,000 miles. Fuck, man. The way you're making $5 a mile, you should have like $300,000 in the bank after all your expenses. How you doing? And home on weekends. You're making out like a bandit. Can you show me your bank account? Oh, you can't show me your bank account. Well, sure. Talk like you got a shit ton of money. Let's throw some of that out there. Because I got guys that are running, $243 a mile, home every weekend, using the same shop, see their wives at night, sometimes over every weekend, and they're making 7 to 10,000 a week, and they're doing less. And if they make 70 cents a mile, it's like an extra $100,000 a year over their average. And they're putting money away and they're doing a lot of stuff and they got money in the bank. But you guys are out there talking smack all the time. You're out there talking smack all the time, telling everybody how great it is and all that stuff. Half these dispatching services, if they knew what they were missing and what they were leaving on the table and how they can make more money, I guarantee you, if you go to all these dispatching services out here and say, last year, if you worked 52 weeks, did you work 8 to 5 off on weekends and make $150,000 free and clear last year? They didn't. None of them. Not even close. And that's only keeping 10 trucks. Well, if they had a fucking product they could duplicate and actually had something to sell, it's just like it goes back to recruiting. You guys always ask what you're recruiting. And I say, well, I'm a driver. Sell me on what you got. That's different than everybody else. What makes you stand out? I know when I stand out because if I open my truck, you got back up. I don't go east of Ohio, west of Kansas City, south of Tennessee, north of Michigan. My guys run 400 to 600 miles a day. They're always in these same 5-6 cities in this region all the time. We also have a dedicated between Indianapolis, St. Louis. It's like 1 to 2 loads a day every day. You're home a couple nights during the weekend on the weekend. And as some of my guys that don't have a lot of high cost, they like running a 150-mile radius of Indianapolis all the time. Tons of freight. I can have all that route before the day I start, before I'm active, with brokers lined up waiting to work for me, like Marie. What's up, Maran? But why do we do this? Where's our game preparation? Why are you having a piece of this pie and you're listening to these people and you're doing this stuff? What are you doing, Maran? Coming to the United States, moving? These people all over the place. You go one group to the next. It's like the blind leading the blind, and only a certain percentage research. It's amazing. I love that word. It's It's lovely when my students pop on and they talk about doing the research because when they actually take the time to do it, it opens a new world. And they're like, man, everything I thought I knew was wrong. You don't think these big guys do? Why do people stay at ConAgra for all the time running those all year long? Because if they could go, everybody could chase for more. But if a guy can build a product and then duplicate it 1,000 times on the homework. What's up, Michael? Shut up, Michael. You said you're not going for my Chiefs after your team lost. You're out of here. Gone. Going for the Bengals. You know, you can't. You wonder if you go and if you build a product and you're making $1,000 free and clear out that product, you go take that product times 10. That's $500,000 a year. If they do the product every day, going from Indy to Charlotte, Charlotte to Cleveland, Cleveland to Kansas City, and that rotation, then your life gets easier because you build relationships that aren't on the load board. And next thing you know, your desk over here is full of Raycons. All you're doing, the loads are already here, or the tenders from the customers. The loads are already here. You guys can't sell freight chasing. It doesn't work. What's up, Arlena? Freight chasing is a disaster. That's why you always run behind. That's why you're always living paycheck to paycheck. That's why these things happen. Don't you guys feel like you're doing that even when the money's coming in? Don't you get it? It's so much easier when it's all taken care of, where your guys are running a system, they're always there. Man, then you got time to take your laptop on vacation, work while you're gone. You could do payroll. Everything's online. But if you don't have a product that covers you, it's something that it doesn't work. It never will. Why do you guys keep falling for all this stuff on freight chasing? So tune in tonight in our group, Shaggy's Consulting and Training. I'm not going to keep laughing my jaws. Shaggy's Consulting and Training Group. We're going to do a go-to meeting. I'll post a link on the Facebook page in the group. Guys, come to it. I'm going to give away a free map training. If you guys wonder about my map and routing training behind my head, it's really crazy because I like to teach people about a plan, the two different worlds of freight chasing, so I like doing a demo of the load boards. Then I like showing another system. I like showing what freight chasing is like in multiple different views. And then I like to show you hands-on how you can build a relationship. First we go over the maps, the seasons, the difference between flatbed, dry van, refrigerated, power only, household, and cars. But really, in each one of those products, it's the same kind of world. Snowbirds, freight chasing. Summertime, holidays, school, moving, household, busier. And everything has a cycle when it's in and when it's not. But did you know when you work your map and you work your regions, you're able to build a product in a different world on your map? You're able to build a bow tie, a 7-day plan that you can sell to customers because you know your numbers, you know your rate or higher, and you have a plan. These guys on Facebook, these dispatchers and brokers, then it doesn't matter if it's dispatching or trucking or brokering. What is your plan? How are you going to network? How are you going to go and give carriers loads to pre-plan them off other brokers' freight when you have no credit as a new broker? I mean, we got Marie on here. We got V. Brewster and all these people that have came to our group. There's a bunch. They got credit scores of 100, 97, 15 to 30 days to pay. They've only been in business for they had that score at 6 months. How many of you guys have a brokerage right now, honestly, that you took a training school and you could tell me that your credit score after 6 months is 100 with a 15-day to pay or 15 to 30 in your first 6 months? How many of you brokers can actually look down after your school right now and say that you have moved 600 to $1 million worth of freight in your first 6 to 8 months with a credit score? Isaiah says, knowing your carrier's numbers. It is too, right? So think about it, right? So if you're a broker, right, and a guy calls you up that don't know what the hell he's doing, you can think about it, right? If he says he has a one truck authority with a driver in the truck, right? You already know that guy needs to make a couple $1,000. The drivers need to make a couple $1,000. The truck you already know when the guy calls you up the phone, if he has a driver, he owns it, and he's a one truck authority while you're looking him up on Carrier 401. I guarantee you, before he even puts his truck payment, his trailer, his fixed cost, his escrow, and his factoring, if you give him 2,000 off that one truck, the driver 2,000 off that one truck, and 2,000 for the fuel, you're already out $6,000 on that load. You haven't paid the rest yet. That driver's going to cost you. That truck's going to cost you $8,000 to $9,000 a week. That means that truck's going to cost you $300 to $350 a mile minimum on top of what they're already without even knowing what they're going to add to it. That's a one truck authority. I know for a fact if a guy calls me and he has a one truck authority, he's the driver. The first thing I ask, do you stay local, regional, or do you run over the road? Well, that's going to tell me, because if he says he runs over the road, I already know he's a freight chaser. He's chasing the highest rate. The conversation like that. If he says he's regional, then I could say, well, how many times are you here? How often do you come in here? You run regional? That's great, man. You go home on weekends? Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, that tells me if that guy has a truck payment, his $2,500 a week plus his $500 for escrow and stuff. I'm not saying he makes $2,500 a week. I'm saying he's bringing in, but I'm taking out his bills and his household bills to understand the net profit of this client, right? You guys like, this is way out there. It's very important as you're picking these guys, because I'm telling you right now, if you can't find people to work with you when you're a new broker or even a broker in this market, most of these brokers right now, they're going, I got a load, calling the customer, and if they don't have relationships, and telling them how much the customer he can move for, and then they're going back, and then they're going back to the carrier. Cost plus, right? I hear it every day. And you win and you lose. That's not a great business plan, but sometimes you have to do it when you don't have the manpower or the support. Sometimes it's better because the market changes so bad that you literally have to call all of them yourself and hunt them down. Maybe that's not true, but it isn't true. There's other ways to do it, but you won't do the work. You won't, because it's easier to post it, call all day long. To actually, you think about it, right? If I control 25 trucks, whether I'm dispatching or there's a carrier with 25 trucks, or if it's four carriers with 20 trucks that I'm dispatching and brokering, or if I have one company with 25 trucks. Do you guys realize that's like $10 million a year in freight that you control, that they don't move their truck whether you like it or not? That's $10 million off 25 trucks that you should be servicing a customer, not a broker. How come you don't do it? I mean, I'm so tired of people saying, I want truck. I got 7. I don't know what to say. Of course you don't, because all you're doing is calling up saying, hey, Steve, man, yeah, I'm an asset-based carrier in your area, and I got like 7 trucks, and I'd like to haul for you. If you guys ever need no help, here's my name, my phone number, and give me a call. And the guy's like, yeah. That works if you actually make those calls, believe it or not. Just to even make a call and ask like that with trucks would get you a customer right now if you do it, right? But the problem is you won't even do that because you're scared. That's why you guys need to get into some of these trainings. You guys have no idea. These trainings are so important because it takes yourself to the next level. Half these carriers out here had to learn it the hard way from people that didn't even learn it the hard way. So we don't even teach the stuff on YouTube. I guarantee you the stuff that's on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, if you guys are in one of my classes or one of my demos, I teach that shit in the first 45 minutes. Everything else is the real experience. And that's why people come to my classes and they're like, I'm going to have to do this again. Not that I'm lost. Holy shit. Or what do I do next? Fuck, that was a lot of information. I mean, holy cow, how does all this stuff goes together? That's why all the big guys have it all going, but I'm not a big guy. But you're an investor. Once you go to 1 to 2 to 3, if you're a one truck guy, I get it, right? But you still could be a dispatch yourself and run your truck. But once you guys start growing a company, there's a reason for it. The goal is to get there. That's why 90% of the companies never make it past 20 trucks. See you later, Isaiah. Isaiah, you're in the map training too, right? On Wednesday? Yeah, so the map training coming up Wednesday, I'm going to announce it again before I go. It's a really cool class. We send you a map that's personalized with you, with the 2 seasons, all the seasons, the lanes, the marquees, the produce, where everything's at. We lay it out outlined. And then I even set it up with some extra stuff on it for you. I set it up with some extra stuff on it for it. Then I kick it out to you guys. And I send it over to you, and it's for your wall to build your plan. When we start out for the first 3 hours, it's a 6 hour class on Wednesday for 12 to 6. We do 3 hours of mapping and training and load boards and spot market and seasonal why it's shit and what you should be doing. And then we come back and we get on live phone calls, me and you and everybody in the group, and we physically live phone call and route out the whole week with real live loads, negotiating real things, and we book out a truck live as a group. You make calls, I make calls. It's freaking awesome. We find crazy lanes. You find out how easy it is to go past people, get up the ladder. You see the difference when you're making those calls between the couple types of brokers that you're going to deal with. And I pointed out to you. Hell, sometimes we'll even be doing routing, and I'll put you in a spot where you're calling with double broker, and I already knew it, and you're just going through it for the fun of it. There's so many different things we got to learn. I just jumped on, rattle you guys' cages a little bit, let you know about the boot camp or the go-to meeting. Our next dispatch training is coming up. Our boot camp webinar is February 7th, and then February 21st. We're stretching them out, so it's like 5 weeks, 3 weeks, over 5 weeks, and it's a shit ton of training. It's like, I don't know, I think we're up to what, 75 hours of training in 3 weeks, 4 nights a week, 6 to 11 p.m. at night, all face-to-face, balls to the wall, right? I'm not talking to you, Michael. All right, guys. Guys, be good. Have a plan. Game preparation. What is your game preparation? No one does game preparation. We get up, get on the load boards, book loads, end of the day, who's covered, go home. Why would we network? Load boards do just fine. I'm just getting by. My dispatcher's taken care of. Not that I know any better, because I've never really done anything but dispatching. How can you get anywhere? The only thing they tell you is get more trucks. We'll dispatch them. How are you running those trucks? What are you doing with those trucks? Where are you going with those trucks? What happens when it stops? Or something changes? Or the one guy retires and your one customer account or 2 customer accounts gets sold out to C.H. Robinson. Some deep shit. You guys got a lot riding on this. I don't know why it's a free-for-all. You guys got that much money to throw around in this fucked up world where inflation's through the roof and prices cost, and I just talked to my contractor and lumber's getting ready to go up again. There's like, did you not see all these products that are getting ready to go up? It's insane, guys. All right, see you guys tonight at 7 o'clock. See you guys in the boot camp February 7th. And I'll see you guys on the map training if you signed up on Wednesday at noon. I got lots of calls coming in. Appreciate you. Peace out. Stay warm. Network, research. Always research before you start. Build a network of people that are going to help you. Always diversify. Build a company that you can help others and keep them in your wheel. If you don't do that, then it's nothing but a free-for-all. It's like having a bomb with a fuse on it. Hope to God you can pick up the pieces at the end, because that's what we like. We like the pity party and the crybaby shit, and let the government help us out, because they're always there for you. That's what taxes are for. We'll go get us some of that shit. Fuck that. I wouldn't count on the government. I was dead and my fucking ass was buried in the ground because somebody did it. Or fucking, I don't know. I can't stand it. I don't want to count on anybody. Period. Except for me, Melissa, myself, and my company. No, I can't count on nobody. I'm the leader of the show. I have to stay ahead of everybody else, because otherwise I get behind on the game. When you're allowing other people to do it for you, how do you stay ahead of everybody else to stay ahead of the game? You tell me that. Using the situation you have right now, if you're not doing it all or in control of it, how do you stay ahead of the game? Unless you're a one-truck guy making ends meet, calling it good. See you guys later.